Most Royal Caribbean cruisers waste hours in lines, miss their favorite shows, and never use the free perks they're entitled to receive. These aren't random internet tips. These are things that experienced cruisers actually do. Hack number 1, get an early check-in. Here's something most people don't know. Royal Caribbean opens online check-in exactly 45 days before your sail date, at midnight. But here's the key part. It's midnight in your departure port's time zone, not yours. So if you're sailing out of Miami and you live on the West Coast, check-in actually opens at 9 p.m. your time. That 3-hour head start matters because the earliest arrival times fill up quickly. If you're late to check in, you might get stuck with a 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. arrival, cutting into your time on the ship. One more thing, make sure every guest in your reservation completes their check-in profile. Upload your passport photo and your selfie for facial recognition. If even one person in your party has an incomplete profile, it can slow down your entire group at the terminal. As a side note, you'll need to return to the app 2 days before you're sailing to complete the health check. So set a calendar reminder for 45 days out. Hack number 2, skip the windjammer on embarkation day. You just got on the ship early using hack number 1. You're hungry, and your first instinct is going to be the windjammer, the big buffet up on the pool deck. Don't do it. On embarkation day, the windjammer is the single most crowded spot on the entire ship. Every guest funnels there. The lines wrap around every station. Tables are impossible to find. And honestly, the food is the same quality you'll get every other day of the cruise when it's half as busy. Here's what experienced cruisers do instead. Head to a specialty restaurant for lunch. On embarkation day, places like Giovanni's, Izumi, and Chop's Grill are practically empty. Most guests don't even realize they're open yet. You'll walk right in, sit down, and have a relaxed meal while everyone else is fighting over tongs at the buffet. Now, yes, specialty dining costs extra, but lunch prices are significantly cheaper than dinner. You might pay $20 per person for a sit-down meal that would cost $50 or more at dinner. Some cruisers say this is the best value meal of the entire trip. If you don't want to spend anything extra, the main dining room is also open for lunch on embarkation day on most ships. Far fewer people know this, so it's another great alternative with table service and no buffet chaos. Save the windjammer for sea days when the crowds spread out. On embarkation day, eat somewhere else. You'll start your cruise relaxed instead of frustrated. Hack number 3, arrive early for shows to get the best seats. Royal Caribbean puts on some of the best shows at sea. We're talking full Broadway productions, ice skating performances, aqua shows, comedians, headliner acts, and the Love and Marriage game show. But here's what catches people off guard. Seats are not reserved unless you're staying in a Sky or Star class suite or have Diamond Plus or Pinnacle loyalty status. That means if you show up 5 minutes before showtime, you're either sitting in the back corner with a blocked view or you're not getting in at all. And staff will close the doors and turn people away when theaters fill. The fix is simple. I recommend showing up at least 20 minutes early to get a good seat. I know that sounds like a lot, but here's why it works. You get center seats with a clear sightline. You avoid the stress of rushing through dinner to make it on time, and you can grab a drink from the bar inside the venue while you wait. A good strategy is to plan your dinner around the show, not the other way around. Check the show schedule in the Royal Caribbean app, pick the performance you want most, and build your evening backward from there. Eat early, walk to the theater, and settle in. Hack number 4, book cruises far in advance. This is one of the biggest money-saving hacks on this entire list, and most people do the exact opposite. They wait for a last-minute deal, and almost every time they pay more. Royal Caribbean prices cruises at their lowest when a new itinerary first goes on sale, usually 12 to 18 months before sailing. As cabins fill up, prices climb. By the time you're a few months out, that same balcony cabin could cost hundreds more than it did on opening day. But here's what makes early booking even better. You also get the best cabin selection. Want a midship balcony on a lower deck so you feel less motion? Those go first. Want connecting cabins for your family? Those disappear fast. Book late and you're picking from whatever's left, often at a higher price. And here's something a lot of cruisers don't realize. Royal Caribbean has a price protection policy called Best Price Guarantee. If the price drops after you book, you can request a price adjustment up until your final payment date, or within 48 hours of booking if final payment has already passed. So booking early doesn't lock you into a bad deal. It locks you into the best position either way. Think of it this way. Every week you wait, you're likely paying more for a worse cabin. Book early, lock it in, and let the price protection work in your favor. Hack number 5, use a travel agent. This is the hack that gets the most pushback, and I get it. People think travel agents are outdated. They think booking direct gets them a better deal. But with Royal Caribbean, that's just not how it works. Travel agents are paid a commission by Royal Caribbean, not by you. That means there's no fee to use a travel agent. So if the price is identical, why use one? Because a good cruise travel agent can find you the best deal and search for added perks you may not have access to. We're talking onboard credit, discounted drink packages, prepaid gratuities, extras that Royal Caribbean won't offer you when you book on their website, and they can add up to hundreds of dollars in value. They also help with flights, hotels, shore excursions, and transportation to and from the ship. But the real value shows up when something goes wrong. Flight gets canceled, itinerary changes, cabin issue. A good travel agent handles all of that for you. Instead of sitting on hold with Royal Caribbean's customer service line for 2 hours, you send your agent a text and they sort it out. And remember hack number 4 about booking early and price protection? A good agent monitors your booking for price drops automatically. You don't have to keep checking. They'll rebook at the lower rate or secure onboard credit without you lifting a finger. One thing to look for: make sure your agent specializes in cruises, specifically Royal Caribbean. A general vacation agent won't know the ships, the cabin categories, or the tricks that a dedicated cruise agent will. It costs you nothing, you get extra perks, and you have someone in your corner for the entire trip. There's really no downside here.
Hack number 6. Avoid guest services on embarkation and debarkation day. If you've ever walked past the guest services desk on the first or last day of a cruise, you already know what I'm about to say. The line is brutal. We're talking 30, 45 minutes, sometimes over an hour of standing there watching your vacation tick away. On embarkation day, everyone shows up with the same problems at the same time. Dining time changes, cabin requests, package questions, SeaPass card issues, all at once. And on the last day, it's the same story with billing disputes and last-minute requests. Here's the hack. Most of what people line up for on day 1 can be handled without any assistance from guest services by using the Royal Caribbean app. But for anything that genuinely requires a person, like a cabin issue or a billing error, wait until day 2 if you can. The line drops dramatically. What took 45 minutes on embarkation day takes 5 minutes the next morning. And on the last day of the cruise, it's the same story. I try my best to handle any issues before the last day. The most common last day issue is discrepancies or questions with your onboard spending account. To avoid last-minute problems, I check my account daily through the app and visit guest services before the final day. If you're finding these hacks useful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps this video reach more cruisers who can use these tips. Hack number 7. Don't ignore smaller Royal Caribbean ships. Everyone wants to sail on the biggest ships. Icon of the Seas, Wonder of the Seas, Utopia of the Seas. Those are the ones that get all the attention on social media. And they are incredible ships. But if that's all you're looking at, you're missing out on some of the best cruises Royal Caribbean offers. Smaller ships like the Radiance class, Vision class, and even the Freedom class are often significantly cheaper than the megaships. We're talking up to over $1,000 less per person for the same number of nights. That's real money, especially if you're booking for a family. But price isn't the only advantage. Smaller ships carry fewer passengers, which means shorter lines, quieter decks, and fewer crowds. The pool deck isn't a fight for chairs. The buffet moves faster. You can actually find a quiet spot to relax without planning a military operation to claim a lounger at 6 a.m. And here's something a lot of people overlook. Smaller ships visit ports that the big ships physically can't reach. Places like the Greek islands, smaller Caribbean harbors, and European coastal towns that are off limits to an Oasis-class ship because the harbor isn't big enough. If the destination matters to you as much as the ship, a smaller vessel often gets you to better places. The onboard experience is different too. The crew knows your name. The dining room feels more personal. You don't need 10 minutes to walk from one end of the ship to the other. It's a completely different energy, and many repeat cruisers actually prefer it. I'm not saying skip the big ships. They're worth experiencing, but don't write off a Radiance or Vision class sailing just because it doesn't have 20 water slides. Sometimes the smaller ship is the better cruise. Hack number 8. Stay on board during port days or return early. This is the hack that sounds crazy until you try it. And once you try it, you'll do it every single cruise. When the ship docks at a port, most passengers get off the ship. They head to the beach, take excursions, visit the shops, or explore the new destination. And that means the ship you paid good money to enjoy is suddenly a ghost town, in the best possible way. That pool deck that was packed on sea days is now wide open. The flow rider becomes a private activity. There's no wait for a hot tub, no chair hogs by the pool, and no lines at the dining venues. And it gets even better. Some paid attractions offer free time slots on port days because demand is so low.
On certain ships, the North Star Observation Pod offers free sessions while the ship is in port. Check the app or the daily schedule when you're docked. You might get an experience for free that you'd otherwise pay for or miss entirely. The specialty restaurants are quieter, too. If you've been wanting to try a sit-down lunch at Izumi or Chops without the dinner price, a port day is the perfect time. Shorter wait, calmer atmosphere, and the staff gives you extra attention because they're not slammed. I'm not saying skip every port. Some destinations are absolutely worth exploring. But if you've got a port you're not excited about or you visited before, stay on the ship. Or head out for a quick walk around town and come back early while everyone else is still on their excursion. You paid for the ship. This is the one day you actually get to enjoy it without the crowds.
Hack number 9. Download the Royal Caribbean app before you sail. I've mentioned the Royal Caribbean app a few times now, and the biggest mistake people make is waiting until they're on the ship to download it. Here's why that matters. The app loads the daily itinerary usually around 2 weeks before you're sailing. By the time I step on board, I already know the ship's layout, main dining room dress code, nightly entertainment, and daily activities. I've got a plan before I even pack my suitcase. Meanwhile, guests who wait to download the app on the ship are just getting their first look at what's scheduled for the week. Once you're on board, the app handles everything. Your daily schedule, restaurant reservations, show times, deck maps, shore excursion details, and onboard account charges. It's all in there. It replaces the old paper daily planner that Royal Caribbean used to leave in your cabin. If you don't have the app, you're guessing where to go and when to go. And here's something a lot of first-time cruisers don't realize. The app works on the ship's network without purchasing a Wi-Fi plan. You don't need an internet package to use it. That means you get full access to your schedule, your reservations, and your account at no extra cost. It's also your messaging system. The ship doesn't have regular cell service unless you pay for it, but the app lets you text other guests in your party for free over that same ship network. Trying to find your spouse at the pool while your kids are at Adventure Ocean? The app is how you stay connected without spending a dime. And one more bonus. Once you download the app at home, log in and explore it. You can start booking dining and shows before you board, sometimes as early as 45 days out, right alongside your check-in. The guests who do this lock in the best reservation times while everyone else is stuck with whatever's left. Download it now and explore everything your cruise has to offer before you set sail. Hack number 10. Know your Crown and Anchor Society benefits. Royal Caribbean has a loyalty program called the Crown and Anchor Society. You're automatically enrolled after your first cruise, and after that, every sailing earns you points that unlock better and better perks. The problem? Most guests have no idea what they've earned. The program has 6 tiers, and with each tier, you unlock new benefits and perks. The biggest perks kick in at Diamond, but the lower tiers still offer savings most guests overlook. At the Gold level, where you start, you get access to discounts on individual drinks and Wi-Fi packages. Hit Diamond and above, and the perks get serious. You'll get free internet, free daily drinks, a behind-the-scenes ship tour, priority seating in the main dining room, and access to the exclusive Crown Lounge. Once you reach the top tier, Pinnacle, you'll even receive a complimentary cruise. Here's what I want you to do. Before your next cruise, log into your Crown and Anchor Society account on the Royal Caribbean website. Check your point balance and the perks you're entitled to. I guarantee you will find at least one perk you didn't know existed, and probably several you've been leaving on the table for multiple sailings. Free perks are only free if you actually use them. Hack number 11. Visit the helipad on Radiance, Voyager, and Freedom class ships. This is one of my favorite tips to share because very few people take advantage of it. If you're sailing on a Radiance class, Voyager class, or Freedom class ship, there's a helipad at the very front of the vessel. And on most sailings, it's open for guests to walk out onto. You won't find signs pointing you there. There's no announcement about it. You have to know it exists and find it. And when you do, you'll understand why cruisers who've been there call it the best view on the entire ship. You're standing at the very tip of the ship with nothing but open ocean in front of you. No pool crowds behind you, no music blaring, just the sound of the water and a 360-degree view that makes every other deck on the ship feel cramped by comparison. During a sunset or a sail away, it's genuinely one of the most memorable spots you'll find at sea. To find it, head to the forward part of the ship on one of the lower decks. Look for a door or a stairway that leads toward the bow. On some ships, it's near the anchor area. It's not hidden behind a locked door, it's just in a spot most guests never bother to explore because they spend all their time on the upper decks near the pool. Now, the helipad isn't open at all times.
The crew will close it off during rough weather or when the ship is docking, and it's not available on the newer Oasis or Icon class ships because those bows are designed differently. But on the ships that have it, it's a great photo spot. And if you go at night, the lack of light pollution gives you the clearest view of the night sky.
Hack number 12. Enjoy free breakfast at Johnny Rockets on Oasis-class ships. Most guests know Johnny Rockets is the retro burger joint on the boardwalk. And at lunch and dinner, it is exactly that, a paid specialty restaurant with a cover charge. So people assume it always costs extra and never even think about going there for breakfast. That's the mistake, because breakfast at Johnny Rockets on Oasis-class ships is completely free. You get the full American diner experience with pancakes, eggs, bacon, French toast, and omelets. No cover charge. No extra fee. Just walk in, sit down, and order. It's included in your cruise fare, the same way the main dining room is. And here's why this hack is so good. While the Windjammer is packed with the usual morning rush and the main dining room has a 20-minute wait for a table, Johnny Rockets is practically empty. The service is fast, the food is hot, and you're eating at a table instead of balancing a plate through a buffet crowd. Hack number 13. Book 2 connecting cabins instead of a suite for families. If you're traveling with kids, your first instinct is probably to book a suite. Suites offer more space, room to spread out, and the ability to keep everyone together. Makes sense on paper, but in practice, there's a smarter move that gives you more of everything for less money. Book 2 connecting cabins instead. Let's break down why. A junior suite on most Royal Caribbean ships gives you multiple beds, but with only one bathroom and a small living area. It's nice, but you're still sharing one bathroom with the entire family. Anyone who's traveled with kids or teens knows exactly how that goes. 2 connecting cabins give you 2 separate rooms, 2 full bathrooms, 2 TVs, and 2 closets. The connecting door between the rooms opens up so the kids can go back and forth freely. Now here's the money part. On most sailings, 2 connecting balcony cabins cost significantly less than a single suite, sometimes hundreds of dollars less for the same number of nights. To book connecting cabins, call Royal Caribbean directly or ask your travel agent. The website doesn't always make it easy to guarantee a connecting pair, but a phone call or a good agent can lock it in and ensure the rooms are linked to your reservation. Hack number 14. Order room service strategically. Room service on Royal Caribbean is not free, but ordering strategically can help you get more of your money. Let's start with what's free. Continental breakfast delivered to your cabin is complimentary. It includes a choice of coffee, juice, pastries, fruit, and cereal. You order it the night before using a card you hang on your door, and it shows up at whatever time you choose. No charge. When you wake up in the morning, your breakfast is waiting outside your door. This is perfect for port days, so you can skip the busy Windjammer or dining room, enjoy a calm breakfast on your balcony, and walk off the ship relaxed and on your own schedule. It's also great for mornings when you just don't feel like getting dressed and dealing with crowds. Now here's what costs extra. Outside of the continental breakfast, room service carries a delivery fee of $7.95 plus gratuity. The menu includes sandwiches, burgers, salads, and late-night snacks. The catch? The delivery fee is charged per order, not per item. So whether you order one item or several, the price is the same. The menu offers several items at an additional cost, but if you stick with the included items, it's worth getting multiple items at a time to save on fees. And you can order it through the app instead of calling the front desk. Hack number 15. Know what's included and what's not. If it's your first cruise, you might think cruises are all-inclusive, but they're not. Some things are included. A lot of things cost extra. And if you don't know the difference before you board, your onboard account can get out of control fast. Let's start with the good news. Pretty much everything you need is covered by your cruise fare, and you can go on a whole cruise without paying extra. Your stateroom, the main dining room, the Windjammer buffet, Sorrento's pizza, the pool and hot tubs, the gym and fitness center, most entertainment, including Broadway-style shows, ice shows, aqua shows, live music, and comedy nights, the kids' clubs at Adventure Ocean, towels, and deck chairs. That's a lot of value already built into what you've paid. Now here's what costs extra, and this is where first-timers get caught off guard. Drink packages, Wi-Fi, shore excursions, specialty restaurants, the spa, casino, paid attractions like iFly, the North Star, photos from the ship's photographers, and gratuities, which are added automatically to your account daily as well. Here's why this matters for your planning.
Royal Caribbean regularly offers pre-cruise sales on drink packages, Wi-Fi bundles, and excursion credits. These deals are always cheaper to buy in advance than buying on board. So once you've booked your cruise, start watching the cruise planner section on the Royal Caribbean website or in the app. When a sale hits, that's your window to lock in the best price. The bottom line is simple. Do your research before you sail. Know what's covered, know what isn't, and buy the extras during pre-cruise sales instead of paying full price on board. That one habit will save you more money than any other hack on this list. That's 15 hacks that will save you time, save you money, and make your next Royal Caribbean cruise significantly better than it would be without them. And the best part? Most of these take only 5 minutes to plan before you even leave home. Now here's what I want to know. What's your best Royal Caribbean hack? Drop yours in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, it would be a big help if you could like this video.